Hey guys, welcome back to the Syntonic Tech Talk podcast. You're sitting here with Joe, Andrew, and Caleb. I know it's been a little bit since we've talked to you guys, about a month. We're going to start diving into some topics, giving you an update on what we've been doing, and here we go.
Yeah, so over the last month and a half, I've started making some YouTube videos for VR tutorials in Unity, and I just posted one today, so check that out. You can see it on the screen right now. Yeah, subscribe to our channel. So yeah, those are coming along. This video is a drawing video on a whiteboard, and I wanted to do this because it took me a while to figure out how to do it. Couldn't really find any videos demoing how to do it. So if you're interested in VR development, maybe it'll help you out. Moving on from there, we're going to go into some programming type news. So Node.JS, new major version 8.0, pretty exciting stuff. Comes along with NPM 5, and we're gonna do a small code demo later on showing a new feature in Node 8. And yeah, so something I find pretty interesting is they've been doing like 6-month major version releases for Node. They have this nice chart on their website.
Oh wow!
And I don't know, I think it's pretty nice for like all the new features. It's becoming more mature. But the last version 7 added a bunch of new stuff.
Seems like they're looking at the competitors for Node, or I guess like the other options out there, and maybe taking some stuff that they have. But
I mean, Go is becoming more popular.
That's the hip thing,
That's
right?
what we're using,
That's the hip thing. Yeah. So the feature we're going to talk about later on is a new utility method called util.promisify. And basically it lets you convert old callback functions into promises pretty easily. And so we're going to give a little demo of that. And it's a pretty nice method. Not too many major changes in this version. Yeah. And then with NPM version 5, one thing is pretty cool is you don't have to specify the -- save anymore.
Which is
That'll be, you just do npm I.
I don't know many people that... Like, I can't remember the instances where I didn't use that.
Right, yeah. I use the shortcut. That's what I've been using. I've been doing npm I -s or -d. So I guess you still probably need it for developer dependencies, but you can do the D flag. That's easy. And then they automatically add the packagelock.json. So you get make sure everything's the same version and stuff for all the developers on a project. Yeah. So moving on from that, a couple weeks ago, actually pretty recently, Heroku has their own continuous integration platform now that goes along with their pipelines. And it costs $10 a month for the pipeline it's on. We were using Travis right now. A lot of people are on Circle CI. I hear that's what's pretty hip.
I haven't seen Circle CI.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
It looks pretty nice.
It
but
seems
I
like the
haven't tried it out.
pricing for Heroku is about on par, maybe cheaper than the stuff that's currently out there.
Yeah.
At least if it's a private project, because what is it?
Right.
Travis is
free for open source. Yeah.
But it's a lot of money if you want to.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for private.
And for smaller teams, that can be hard. But yeah, this is perfect for like startups. And if you're not familiar with pipelines, basically it lets you add a bunch of Heroku apps into share the same code. So you can have apps that are in review, and then you have like the staging and then just production. And so this basically lets you have CI and like running tests for all of those
I think the other major pipeline thing is Bitbuckets, which they just came out with.
What is theirs called?
Ago. Bitbucket Pipelines, I think.
Is it Pipelines?
Yeah.
It's something like that.
They said that they were replacing Bamboo with that, but I'm not sure.
It's
if they're adding another CI to go with it. Go to the...
I think it was up there.
Yeah, I think it was up there with the integration.
It's something. HipChat.
Go back real quick.
Oh, they still show Bamboo on there. Just search,
Yeah, Bitbucket Pipelines. Theirs does look pretty nice as well. The Bitbucket has like a new UI.
Yeah.
We were messing around with it at work, and it was like messing up on smaller screen sizes. So they might need to work out some some kinks there. Yeah, but their interface looks pretty nice with just the tests and how that looks.
And it's nice to have it on.
You got all those.
Yeah, all together because this is what's running your project.
Right.
And if you can have another one with it, yeah.
And then you've got the pretty nice looking GitHub integrations as well.
Right.
And I'm assuming it's pretty easy to set up because Travis is basically like you just.
It's just set up.
You just put the config file and specify like your language, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because on one project we're working on, we have the tests running in Travis, and then it deploys to Heroku. So you have to do a tiny bit of extra config to get the auto deploy to like only run after the tests pass. But
all of this you can view it all in one space about your tests and the deployment. So it seems like a really nice option for anyone who's running Heroku projects.
This is like everyone's doing CI nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options out there.
Doing CI for everything.
It's the gold rush for CI. Yeah. Next up, Google, a couple weeks ago at Google I/O, announced they're going to be officially supporting Kotlin language for Android in Android Studio. Kotlin, I haven't been able to try it out yet. I think I'm going to for a project coming up, but it looks like a pretty neat language.
It's a lot of functional stuff.
It's like Swift-like in a few ways.
Swift and Scala.
Yeah, and some of the syntax is just really concise. They have the optional operator.
Right. I think it's
for type safety.
It's still object-oriented, but it has a lot of functional programming aspects.
Right, lambdas and stuff. And the neat thing is it's interoperable with Java and all Java libraries. So makes it pretty easy to like transition to it if you were going to do that for Android projects or something.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to move on to some hardware news. Computex 2017 in Taiwan was last week, and there was pretty good amount of announcements out of there. So Intel has their new Core i9 platform. I like how they just say the i9. They're going for it now.
It's huge.
And so they've got some big CPUs coming soon. So there's a chart that shows all of them. The big boy is the 18 core 36 threads. And it still boosts with Turbo Boost 3 to 4.5 gigahertz, which is pretty insane.
That's what my i7 is, I think, with Boost.
And it also costs $2,000. 165 watt power draw. I don't think that's too bad, like for that many cores. And that's like down the line it goes down. I'm particularly looking at this 8 core 16 thread with the same boost of 4.5. It's $600. And then they have a couple of options that are basically like new versions of the 7700K and the 7600K, the 7740X and 7640X.
On the base clock for the i7 7740X is 4.3.
For which one?
7740X.
Yeah, but
that's pretty good.
I feel like for the X, because you can get these chips on sale now, even at like Micro Center or something. So it seems like a weird addition to the X series because they're basically the same.
And if someone's wanting a better chip, they're probably willing to spend a decent amount.
So this is the Skylake and Kaby Lake X platforms, and it's going to be running on the X299 chipset motherboards. Could probably pull those up. Asus and everyone has a bunch of new ones. They're looking pretty RGB'd out.
Pretty flashy.
Little too flashy probably. Asus's look pretty nice though. That's a bit over.
It's overkill.
We're past like the RGB renaissance. We're just
looking into lights.
Yeah, there's too many lights now. This is a bit tamer. That's nice.
Yeah,
I have an MSI board. But I'm looking for the white color scheme. So
gotta get that dark scheme.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then on the other side of the fence, we've got the AMD Ryzen quote-unquote Threadripper platform.
Ooh.
With their 16-core 32-thread. Apparently, it's going to cost $849 US, and the equivalent on the Intel side is $1,700.
Yeah. Well, we don't know the base
for the
clock,
16-core. Yeah. So on the Ryzen side, we don't know the clock speed for this, but we do know that it's up to 64 PCIe lanes, which is a ton. I think the max that Intel had on their X299 is 44. And this, I find it funny that they're calling this platform the X399. That has to be on purpose.
It's the new version of the X299.
Yeah.
Why would you stick with the old one?
Yeah. So depending on what the clock speeds are, and they've got pretty flashy motherboards here too. Depending on what the clock speeds are, depends on if this is like worth it. But I feel like this is going to be the budget, like server type chips.
Yeah.
But still, like 16 cores, 32 threads is pretty insane. But something interesting is that this says up to 180 watts, and then the Intel was 165. So
look how low their 8-core is still.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
crazy.
really low.
Yeah, and then both of these chipsets are running quad channel memory. So mid 2017, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, AMD, they've pushed back Vega again and again, and now it's pushed back a little bit further. So they've got
it's official.
It is official. So they've got the Frontier Edition cards coming out on June 27th, and then the RX Vega is coming after that at the end of July, early August. And it's basically just rumors at this point as to pricing, and they have like the specs with the teraflops and stuff. People are saying that it's gonna basically go against the 1070, the 1080, and the 1080 Ti as like a similar pricing and performance model. So we'll just have to see how that goes. They're coming out with another announcement for the Frontier Edition in mid-June. I do think these cards look pretty snazzy. They're really, really
the cube
sleek.
In the corner.
Yeah, the color choice is kind of weird. It's like a brushed gold
and a blue.
Weird looking blue. It's been so long, but we'll have to see. They've got all
Hopes
these.
are high for most people.
Yeah. And then on the Nvidia side, Zotac made this tiny GTX 1080 Ti.
Dwarf Ti.
It's micro. That'd be really cool for like a small
You can pack
case
two
build.
of those in there.
Oh yeah.
In a small case still.
You could cool them pretty easily.
Yeah, they come with a liquid block.
Yeah.
Easy.
That'd be pretty cool. But that's pretty impressive. I mean, it's really stripped down, but
Zotac will come out with a small PC with that built into it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm sure that's on the way soon.
They have like a bunch of like miniature cards, the mini console size
PCs.
Console killing PCs. Yeah, they have like cases like that.
Yeah,
that looks
slim.
a bit weird. Mech Warrior.
It'll be interesting for what builds come along with this small of a card.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into our short little code demo here for the util.promisify method in Node.js 8. So make sure you have Node 8 installed, and then you can just make a test file, test.js. So let's give an example of what this does. So we're going to first import the util module. And then we're going to get fs for file system, and we're going to use the stat method from file system. So let's just do this as if it were normal. So we do fs.stat and then just current directory, and then it's going to bring back a callback, has error first, and then the stats. I'm really starting to dig this ES6 syntax. It looks pretty nice.
It's really simple.
Yeah, and so we can just log those, and we'll run it. Okay, so error is null, and then it comes back with the stats. So then if we were to promisify this, what we do is assign a variable that's going to be the promisified version of the function. So you just do util.promisify and then fs.stat. And then let's log that real quick. So it's just a function. And then we can just do it like if it were a normal promise. So we can do stat on the current directory, and then, so we can have the stats, and then our catch is going to have the error. I'm mixing my semicolons. I'll just move those. And then we can do console.log stats. And in this case, it doesn't really make it any more concise. It's actually way shorter as the callback. But if you're getting into a situation where there's like callback hell and there's a bunch, then this is probably the way to go. I think it's just a nice little util method if you're trying to use all promises or something like that. And this is basically just going to output the same thing. So we got the stats there. Yeah, pretty nice little thing.
Yep.
They're definitely moving towards getting everyone up to speed with ES6 and having everything native.
This will entice more people to just use promises if they've been too lazy.
Yeah.
To switch them recently.
Yeah, I've started trying to move there just because it makes the code look a lot nicer. You don't have lines that are like 200 characters long. Got to keep everything under like 80 characters.
Right.
All right, I think that about does it for this episode of our Syntonic Tech Talk podcast. So stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.